Jochen Wermuth, a German investor in Russia. A happy investor, I have to say, over $1 billion invested and able to do it in a normal fashion. Thank you very much for the excellent reception here. Thank you very much for your indication of the great cooperation between the G8 heads of state and your commitment to Europe and Russian-European cooperation. So my question to both of you is on Russian-EU strategic partnerships. In these rooms here, I think it was a few years ago in 2005, German Gref and Peter Mandelson negotiated the 4 common spaces between the EU and Russia, a space for economic space where we have free movement of goods, a space of freedom and security.
Just in the essence of time, I don't mean to be rude, I need to get to the question, please.
Exactly. The question is, could we now, the precondition for the 4 common spaces, freedom, movement of goods, security and education, to be implemented was that Russia would join the World Trade Organization. Now, 8 years later, it has happened. Could we go back to the plans of 2005 and implement the 4 common spaces between Russia and the EU to come to a genuine strategic partnership for growth for Russia and the EU? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mrs. Merkel, would you like to take that first?
Ich glaube, dass das Potenzial.
I think that the potential of partnership between the European Union and Russia has not been fully utilized. And I think it's a very important step for Russia to have become a member of the WTO. There are regularly consultations. In some areas, we've made progress. As far as the cooperation is concerned, I've already talked about the energy cooperation, and it's not only Germany that is an important partner. I think yesterday we had the Dutch Prime Minister here. There are many countries, France, for instance, that are very intensely collaborating, working together with Russia. And of course, there are things that have not been solved yet. Russia would wish for faster progress in the visa waiver program, and I'm quite open about that. So we are too slow, says Russia, in that, and we have to make progress also as far as the free movement of economic cooperation is concerned, so those people that are engaged in economic cooperation. And we're also returning to discussions on human rights that are that we are at dispute, and sometimes that dispute can be quite significant. But if you look at the long-term strategic necessities, let me say, as someone who is a European in the sense of the European Union, that partnership with Russia, I think, is a central strategic role that it's playing. So obviously, any setbacks, any questions or issues should not be in our way. We have to settle them, those disputes. And it's well known that the Russian president is not someone that is keeping his voice down, but indeed speaks up on regular occasions, and that does not stop us from continuing those efforts in the future.
Громко приходится выражаться для того, чтобы услышали. Если
We have to say lofty words to be heard. Maybe I was talking too loud, but I would like to apologize for that. But I don't know why we should come back to 2005. Madam Federal Chancellor was 100% right when she said that Russia acceded to WTO when Mandelson and Gref, the most important, they held their negotiations, and their most important task was to ensure Russia's accession to WTO. There are lots of misunderstandings. There are lots of things that need to be harmonized. I mean, our joint principles in the field of humanitarian rights. We need to understand how to ensure human rights, how to protect them, what values we share. A lot of things need to be agreed. A lot of things need to be understood. But what is very important, we need to be very attentive to one another. We need to treat each other with respect. And Russia is always ready to hear, to listen to our partners, but under the condition that no one dictates their rules to us in a mentoring tone. Well, I would like to say that I haven't seen such examples over the past several years. One thing is mass media, where we have emotional people who are not very well informed about what happens in real life. They have a lot of assumptions of their own, and this is something for the administrative bodies to take the blame for, because if we inform the mass media in the timely manner, we won't have all those rumors circulating. Well, yes, there are lots of debates about ways of economic development, because each country, each side is trying to achieve the best. The one who sells wants to sell at a higher price. The one who buys wants to buy at a lower price. This is nothing unusual about it. But we managed to come to a common solution. We have acceded to the WTO, and now head of another organization, international organization, is here in the auditorium. He is a good friend of ours, and we are thinking together with him how to resolve the problem of Russia's accession to OECD. Even if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we understand that we need to harmonize our domestic internal rules with OECD rules and standards. We are working on a regular basis. I'm not going to give you any dates, but the important thing is that we listen to one another, we hear what the other side has to say. We have debates going on with the European Union about the third energy package. We haven't been able to come to terms to them, but as Madam Chancellor said, that we built the northern pipeline together, and I think here we have very deep interests of our own. Consumption is going to grow in China, in Japan. Europe is faced with certain difficulties, but the responsibility of European leaders will lead to the recovery of this very important segment of the global economy. And Europe is the biggest partner of Russia. We have more than 400 billion of turnover, trade turnover with European countries. So we are moving towards achieving all those goals that we formulated for ourselves several years ago.